Number B Yoga, just checking in for my second week of virtual yoga, and I'm really happy to be able to offer a class to all of the people who are not able to take a class through Studio 143, where I'm also offering virtual live yoga classes twice a week. I wanted to make something available to my students all around and really have some time to be with you guys and feel personal, and something you can refer to when you need to carve out some time for your yoga practice. So thanks for being with me today. I'm really honored to have the time in my day to be able to have a yoga practice, and I'm so glad to share it with all of you. Know that even though you're not next to me right now, that I feel the energy of all of you. I'm thinking of all of you, and I just know that we're all going to get through this together. So thanks for tuning in. So I wanted to talk today a little bit about last week I talked about grounding into gratitude, and this week I really wanted to work on a practice that's grounding yet uplifting. And I'm actually so lucky. Today I got home from a run. My kids rode their bikes. We live close to the ocean, so we drove to a beautiful spot, and they rode their bikes. It was really windy. It's about 40 degrees, and I was able to go on a run, which is so refreshing. And you know, I think it's so important to get your workout in, whatever that is. It might be a meditation practice for you. It might be a walk. It might be some days just a restorative class or yin class. I really needed some cardio today and a little bit of a sweat, and it was so refreshing. And so I got home and I was feeling really refreshed, and then it was like Christmas because I opened up my mailbox, and of course I was using gloves to get my mail because someone recommended that I do that. So anyways, I was so excited to get 2 pieces from Kira Grace, part of their spring collection, their Botanica collection. They also partnered with Amari Activewear, and they actually, this is so cool. I got this little hoodie. I usually wear like black hoodies. I have a couple from Kira Grace, and then just kind of some long t-shirts that I've gotten from different places. But I love this kind of mesh see-through hoodie. It's like a true hoodie, has a hood. So it's really awesome. If you want to cover your face in Shavasana, you can. If you want to, you know, take your hood and just bring it back. It's just so awesome, and I love it. It's really fitted. It's got a really nice kind of waistline and waistband, and so I love it. I'm so excited. So I threw it on today. I've also got the new crop in the white Botanica, the light Botanica. And anyways, I don't want to talk too much about that, but I was so excited to wear some of my favorite colors and really feel, the sun's out here today, really feel refreshed and really healthy. I think that, you know, this yoga practice obviously isn't about what we wear, but I'll tell you what, if you feel good in what you have on and you feel comfortable and you feel like you can move around comfortably, it really helps in your practice as well. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. So anyways, today's practice is also uplifting. It's going to be similar to the colors around us and the sun and the flowers. Let's kind of take advantage of that right now and move it into our practice. So I'm going to be talking today and incorporating the Lotus Mudra into our practice. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with what mudra means, similar to our asana, our practice, our postures, all these positions, all the breath, all these techniques that we have, that we do through yoga, are all able to kind of offer us a little bit of balance and foundation, whether it's through our energy centers, balancing our energy, increasing or releasing. And also, same with mudras. Our mudras, we have a few mudras that we can work with that can really help with the precise and kind of precision of the hand gesture. It can really help offer that same balance and foundation in our practice, in our meditation, and in many of our postures. So I want to incorporate the Padma or Lotus Mudra into our practice today. It specifically really talks about, as I mentioned, grounding yet uplifting. I also wanted to just read a really nice description that I found on the lotus flower mudra that we're going to incorporate today. It opens and reveals our wholeness body, our mind and our spirit. It brings heart energy upward into higher chakras. So where last week we worked on the first 3 energy centers, primarily the first energy center at the base of the spine, we're going to be working on grounding and kind of building that safety net for our bodies and our mind, but then moving into our heart space and letting that energy rise and opening up and really blossoming into some beautiful postures today that I think is really fitting for this practice this week. So the other thing that's really wonderful about this mudra, incorporating it into our practice and using it in our practice, is that it actually opens our hearts up to what life brings us. So similar to the lotus blossom, right? What life brings us and what happens environmentally in order for that flower to blossom. In order for ourselves to feel uplifted, other things need to take place. It also combats feelings of loneliness and isolation and really just kind of being alone. So I think a lot of people are definitely feeling that right now, and I think it's important to combat that with our practice, with our mudra, triggering the parasympathetic nervous system, allowing us to rest and digest, allowing us to feel grounded, so then we can start to feel a little bit more supported, and then we're able to support the other people in our lives, in our community, our earth, and on a global scale. So I want to incorporate our Lotus Mudra into the practice today, and without talking too much more about it, I first want to show you what this mudra looks like. So I'd like you to just take your hands and just come into your Anjali Mudra, so the fingertips will join together, and we're going to bring the thumbs right against the sternum, and just really tapping into that heart chakra, that beautiful place in Eastern tradition of yoga is a place of subtle energy, and it's really the breath within the breath. So I want you to leave some space in between the hands, in between the palms, and just leave some space there for peace. And then close your eyes, take a big, big invigorating breath. Inhale, take your breath all the way in and up. Open your mouth and exhale. And do that again. Big breath, in and inhale, in and up. Take that breath all the way to the top. Take that last sip of air. Maybe hold for a moment here. Lock in that energy, and then exhale, open your mouth. Good. Now moving into our Lotus Mudra, we're going to start to just allow the pointer fingers, the middle fingers, and our index fingers to separate. So we're keeping the pinky fingers and the thumbs together. And kind of soften your grip, and notice how the jaw might start to soften, how the fingers might start to soften, how the thumbs might start to just kind of hover over the sternum rather than pressing in. We want to think about allowing and receiving now. So taking that another full breath, inhale through the nose, and exhale out of the mouth. And I offer this mantra for our practice today. Our mantra, and you can silently repeat it. As we flow, I want you maybe to come back to it if you find you're distracted. My heart is a deep lake of loving kindness. So let's just take that in. We'll practice a moment of silence. You can repeat. And another reminder of that mantra offering. My heart is a deep lake of loving kindness. Take a deep breath, inhale. Silently take those words in and up. And then exhale, seal that intention, seal that mantra for today. And then slowly bring your chin back to center. We're gonna start by separating the knees a little bit. So I'm in Virasana right now with my hands in Lotus Mudra. Now, if you'd like, you can start to tuck your toes. That's another really nice variation. Sometimes you might get cramping, you might start to feel uncomfortable. No, you can untuck your toes or tuck your toes if you're not in that expression. But Virasana can feel really nice if we can kind of open the arches, spread the toes. And we're gonna move here, so we're not gonna be putting all our weight onto the heels, but I wanna start to separate the knees and give ourselves some space. So we're gonna inhale here, extend through the arms, exhale, open up the chest, squeeze your shoulder blades, and then inhale, hands back into Lotus Mudra, exhale your hands to your heart. Inhale, arms extend, blades. Inhale, exhale. So start to feel that free flow of healing energy as we awaken through the fourth chakra, all the way through the crown of the head. Okay, that lotus, that color that resonates with the seventh chakra. Good. We're going to take a few more. Inhale, open up, maybe the gaze lifts. Exhale, back to heart. Inhale, last one here. Open up, inhale back to heart. Exhale, hands to heart center. So adjust here, take a moment. We're going to add on a little bit and incorporate a gentle twist. So if you need to untuck those toes or tuck the toes, just to offer a little bit more comfort here. We're going to inhale, extend the arms, sit back down, and then twist over to the right. Take your left hand to your right thigh, your right hand to the small of the back. Take a deep breath. Inhale back through center. Exhale, twist to the left. So tuck your tailbone. Sometimes I like to really place my hand at the small of the back when I twist and really breathe right into the palm. So imagine kind of a big balloon breath, just breathing into your back ribs, your lower back ribs. And then inhale, center. This time twist to your left, right. And then from here, you might deepen your twist. You can walk your knees closer together, take a deep breath, inhale, and then exhale, gently twisting through the torso, maybe the gaze over the shoulder. And then back to center, inhale, and then exhale, over to the left. Left hand on the small of the back, inhale, exhale, maybe inviting in a deeper twist, see how you feel. Reach through the crown, feel that energy. And then inhale back to center. Exhale your hands to your heart. Good. So we're going to untuck our toes here. We're going to take a nice full breath and then slowly start to come onto all fours. So as you come onto all fours, walk your hands underneath your shoulders. Spread your fingers nice and wide here. And then see if you can take a little bit of softness and bring it right under the knuckle space. So I'm going to move my block here so it's not in the way and move over to the side. But I want you to take your hands and just walk them under the shoulders. You can keep the middle fingers parallel and then draw the thumbs together. Wrap your elbows out and then in so that the inner eyes of the elbows draw forward. Now, notice what's happening through your navel space or your core. See if you can bring some awareness into that space. See if you can heal the heart and all its emotional wounds as you take a nice full breath, inhale, and exhale out of the mouth. Good. Now, inhale, slowly soften the belly. Curl the tailbone, draw the heart as it sweeps forward. Again, maybe cracking that heart open, those cobwebs, just peeling them away. And then exhale, from the lumbar, start to round. And then inhale, curl that tailbone. See if you can take the crown of the head and lift it. Again, feeling that energy rise through the tip and the crown of the head, that samadhi or unity consciousness. Exhale, round. Lock in that energy. Inhale, sweeping through. Exhale, round. Good. Take another full breath here. Inhale. And then as you exhale, round through the spine, tuck your toes, shift your hips all the way back, find your downward facing dog, and move around a little bit here. So fingertips are spread. We want to feel the energy, or these nadis, these little rivers of energy channels that run through the body. We have 72,000. And then I want you to take your shoulder blades and see if you can draw them closer together. And then soften that C7 vertebra at the back of the neck, nice and supple here. Now, see if you can find a little more space in between the shoulder blades. A little more awareness as the navel draws back towards the spine. Take a full breath. Lift your sitting bones. Allow them to just start to part a little bit more. Keep your knees soft if you need to. And then roll onto the balls of the feet and weave your body forward. Find your high plank. This is really strong here. So we want to think about that long line of energy from crown to heels. Wrap your inner thighs together. Draw the inner eyes of the elbows forward. Hollow out under the palms. Defy gravity. Now one more breath. Inhale. Drop your knees wide. Toes join. Find your child's pose. Keep your wrists lifted here and your elbows, and let your third eye connect. Burrow that space between the eyebrows into the earth. That seat of intuition, that gateway to our thoughts as the witness. And then slowly start to exhale, round through your cat stretch, kind of inch the knees together a little bit closer, and then inhale, sweep the heart forward. Curl the tailbone, and then round, tuck the toes, lift the hips. So we're going to flow here. Inhale, roll onto the balls of the feet. Exhale, articulate through the spine. Bring yourself into your high plank. Drop your knees down. Exhale, shift the hips back. Stay strong. Breathe into the back of the heart. And then exhale, round, inch the knees together. Inhale, find your cow stretch. Exhale, round, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. One more, inhale, roll onto the balls of the feet, wave the body forward, untuck the chin from the neck, bend the knees and sink back. Surrender, find that peace and calm for a breath. Exhale, tiger claw those fingertips into the earth, inch the knees together. And then slowly lift. Deep breath. And take my mala off here. So from here, we're going to take our right leg and extend. Find your three-legged dog. Really tack that right hip so it's parallel to your left hip. Hips are shining like flashlights towards the earth. And then draw knee to nose. And then send your right foot in between the hands. Drop your left knee down. We're going to take our hands into our Lotus Mudra. We're going to inhale, extend that right leg, open the chest. So scissor your inner thighs to the midline of the mat here and really stay strong. Inhale, and your movement might be much more subtle than mine, okay? Inhale, exhale, inhale, share that energy. Start to feel that uplifting, and then as you bow down here, take your left hand to your right thigh, right hand to the small of the back. Big balloon breath into the lower back ribs. Maybe gaze starts to come over to the side here. Take another full breath. And then back to center. Hands in our Padma Mudra. Take another full breath. Inhale. And then exhale. Release the hands down. Tuck your left toes. Kick your right leg high. Inhale. And then exhale, knee to nose. Good. Step the same foot forward. Perch onto your peace fingers or your fingertips. Draw your heart forward. Bring your belly off the thigh. Press through the back of your left thigh. And then step your left foot to join your right. Inhale, halfway. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, we bow, Uttanasana. Root to rise, arms sweep overhead. Big breath, inhale. Exhale, Lotus Mudra into our heart. Inhale, arms extend here. Exhale, big swan dive as we bow. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, right foot steps back, left to join. Take a full breath in your plank. I want to give you guys options here. You can move into child. You can drop your knees, moving through a variation of chaturanga. Or exhale, lower. Elbows wrap in towards the rib cage. Inhale. Lift the thighs. Heart draws forward. Exhale. Shift the hips back. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Good. Inhale. Left leg sweeps. Hips are nice and square. So be deliberate here. Press through the pad of your left foot. Feel that energy right through the pinky toe of the left foot. And then exhale, knee to nose. Lightly step your left foot through. Drop your right knee down and tuck the toes. Hands into our Lotus Mudra. Inhale. Extend the leg. Open up. Exhale. Inhale back to center. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale. So make this an offering. Maybe your practice today is an offering, a dedication. Because no matter what you're feeling, there is someone else out there that is more in need than you. Exhale. Let's do one more. Inhale. Open up. Inhale back to center. Good. Back in. Right hand to left thigh. Left hand to the small of the back. Take a full breath. Defy that gravity. Take a full breath. Inhale. Maybe gaze over the shoulder. Take another deep breath. Good. Back to center. Hands in our Lotus Mudra. Inhale for a breath. Exhale all the way down. Tuck your back toes. Left leg sweeps. Inhale. Three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Lightly step that right foot through. Perch up onto the fingers. Be active. One more breath, and then step your right foot to join your left, top of the mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, we bow. We root to rise. Inhale. Exhale your hands to your heart. Come back to those words. My heart is a deep lake of loving kindness. Inhale, arms stretch out overhead. Raise that global vibration, and we bow. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, left foot back, right to join. Step, step, high plank. Always know you can modify or skip this all together. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Savasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Savasana, deep breath. Draw the big toes together here, bend your knees. Stay light through the feet. You can walk or float. Bring your gaze between the hands. And then slowly transition. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, we bow. Inhale, arms sweep overhead. Exhale, our hands to our heart. Good. I'm going to add on here. Inhale, extend. Exhale, big bow. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant the hands right, then left. Step, step, plank. Inhale. Draw the heart forward if you can. Glide those shoulders down the back. Exhale. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Maybe it's Bhujangasana for Cobra. Exhale, Adho Mukha Savasana. Right leg sweeps, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Lightly step that right foot all the way through. Deep breath, drop the left knee down. Hands into your Lotus Mudra. Inhale, extend. Exhale, open. Good. Inhale back, and now bend in. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Maybe a little more of a back bend. Start to feel that opening and that space. Maybe those energy channels starting to flow. The breath and Ujjayi Pranayam. Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Hands back to our heart center. Take that gentle twist. Right hand to the small of the back. We're going to add on here. So if it feels comfortable, tuck your back toes. Take a nice full breath. Press through the back of that left thigh. Good. Take another full breath. And then take the arms overhead. Inhale. Good. Soften the shoulders. Settle here. Good. Push the earth away. Defy that gravity. And then take your hands into Lotus Mudra. Drop your back heel. Find your warrior two. Deep breath. Good. And then take that front leg, extend. Find our gentle warrior. Hands back to our heart center, and then extend. Full Virabhadrasana 2. Flip your front palm, peaceful warrior. Good. Arms back. Hand back. Hands join together. That lotus blossom rise. Good. So grounding yet uplifting. Extend. Flip the front palm, peaceful. Good. Last one. Hands warrior 2. Gentle warrior. Exhale. Come back to that heart space. Good. Last one. Peaceful warrior. Full breath. Now, as I mentioned last week, this is a side bend, not a back bend. So tuck your tailbone, anchor it. Use that left hand if you can. Find a half bind. And then exhale. Cartwheel the arms all the way down. Step your right foot back to plank. Inhale here for length. Exhale. Chaturanga. Inhale. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Lift your left leg towards the sky, adding on here. Draw knee to nose. Lightly step your left foot all the way through. Drop that back knee. Lotus Mudra. Back to your center. Inhale, extend. Open the chest. Inhale back and exhale, take it in. Good, inhale. So we need to take care of ourselves, right? That big inhale that you take, that's all for you. Good, extend here, open up. That exhale is so that we can now offer to others. Take your right hand to your left thigh, left hand to the small of the back. If you feel safe, tuck your back toes, find a gentle twist here. Keep drawing your right hip forward. Good, untuck that chin from your heart, breathe. Find that steady gaze. Good, another full breath. Take your arms into full Anjaneyasana. Again, stagger your feet a little bit here. If you feel wobbly, that's okay. So I have a pretty long stance in this, but you can certainly shorten your stance, bend your back knee, without compromising that pelvic floor, keeping it nice and strong, particularly the perineum. Lift the perineum, that mula bandha or that root lock that we want, keeping everything really safe here. Good, and then arms extend, deep breath. Hands to our heart. Drop that back heel. Find your warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Center yourself. Okay, a lot of times right now we're kind of thinking, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? We lean forward, we lean into it. I want you to bring yourself back to the present, maybe that mantra. Good, and then inhale, gentle. And then exhale, hands to heart, open up warrior two. Flip the left palm this time, peaceful warrior. Good, arms back. Hands in that Lotus Mudra. Inhale, we rise. Heart center. And then peaceful. Good, last one here. Gentle warrior. Hands to heart. Open up. Peaceful warrior, deep breath. Exhale, arms, cartwheel all the way down. Left foot back to plank. Inhale. Big sip of air. Exhale, that's for you. Exhale for others. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath here. Exhale it out. Good. And then from here, we're just going to walk our hands and our feet to meet one another. The middle of our mats. You can keep your feet hip width here. You can even walk your feet wider than your outer hips if that feels safer. You can also toe heel your feet together. Let's take our hands, let's wrap them around our elbows for ragdoll. And just feel the weight that you're carrying around, especially right now, just melt away, falls away. With each deep breath, we offer healing to ourselves. And when we come into an inversion like this where the head is below the heart, we start to trigger that parasympathetic nervous system. We start to feel that rest and digest. Our thighs massage our internal organs. Our back body gets this beautiful, safe stretch as the knees are soft. And then slowly, the feet came together. Walk them a little further apart. And then on your next deep breath, I want you to release your elbows and then take a slow roll all the way up to your standing Tadasana. So I kind of joked last week on that roll up, what that feels like kind of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? So in Massachusetts where I live, school is now closed till May 4th. So I'm not going to say anything else because I don't want to jinx it, but let's fill our days with gratitude, and rather than thinking about that length of time, what's so bad, right? We're with, hopefully, unless you're in the medical industry, hopefully you're with people. Hopefully you're with the people that you love and you would choose to be with, right? So let's take a nice full breath, hands back into our Lotus Mudra. I'm going to add on a little bit here. So let's just take the arms overhead. And then this time, as you exhale, take your hands behind your low back. So I'll turn so you can see my profile. You're going to take your hands into a double-handed fist. And again, option to walk your feet apart here, or maybe big toes join. It's more challenging the more narrow base that you have in most of your postures. So if you want to make it more challenging, bring the feet together. But we're going to start to open up. Again, open up the front body energetically. This time we want to allow the ribs to flare out, but we want to keep our tailbone anchored, okay? So we want to keep the strength as well as the length and lift. So deep breath. And then start to come back to neutral. Continue to squeeze your shoulder blades together. So we're contracting the rhomboids. We're expanding or extending through the pectorals. And then we're going to fold ourselves in half. Knees can walk a little wider. Feet can walk a little wider. And then just kind of rinse out conflict. So do we feel conflict? I know when we're kind of in our own head, we sometimes have these conflicting thoughts. But if you're feeling conflict, it's probably in the head, neck, and shoulders. So take it and give yourself this time to really rinse away that conflict. You know, there's this kind of conflict we may have between the head and our hearts, right? Our head might be saying, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm going to have my job anymore. How am I going to pay my bills, right? Let's come back to our heart. Let's come back to our health. And let's fill ourselves up with that and release everything else. And then slowly take your hands. We're going to release them so they come down to the earth. Arms just kind of fall heavy. Walk your feet a little wider again. Take your fingertips around your elbows. Now pressing in through the floor. We're going to inhale over to the right, and we're going to bring our body all the way up to a variation of Tadasana. And then we're going to exhale over to the left. And just kind of feel your body just moving with your breath. So your breath is your guide. And you want to follow your breath. So if the mind's really busy, see if you can take your movement and really slow it. Like maybe move it past your breath, maybe a second. And then feel the lateral body just start to open and expand. As we come back to our ragdoll, we're going to reverse the direction. So inhale over to the left. So reversing, starting at the bottom and moving up, rising, uplifting from the ground. Use the strength of your bandhas, of your energy locks to keep your body safe here. Keep your joints safe. All those muscles. We'll take one more here, and then we'll meet all the way back down. We'll release our elbows and let our arms just kind of fall again to the earth. We're going to walk our hands out. We're going to step our feet back. So find your downward facing dog. And just take a couple grounding breaths here. So again, those healing breaths, that flow of energy. See if you can find stillness, softness. Good. Take another deep breath. And then begin to drop your knees down. Bring your big toes to touch. I want to offer a variation in our child's pose. So I'm going to have you take your arms. As long as you don't have any shoulder injuries, this will be some internal rotation through the shoulders here. We want to take our hands and just kind of thread our arms in between the thighs so you can walk your knees wider. Sometimes I love to come into a little baby frog pose and just kind of sink in here. And just let your body melt. So these moments of surrender are our time to receive. And before we can offer, right, before we can open our heart to life's path and what life brings us, we have to feel grounded. We have to feel that we're able to replenish and receive ourselves. So we take those big inhales, right? So that we can offer that exhale. And then just offer the left cheek. Take a few rounds of breath. And then slowly start to just unthread the arms. Come back into your tabletop. We're going to add on a little Shakti roll. It feels really good in the body and also just kind of stirs around the organs a little bit and keeping the integrity of the spine. And when we work with spine, so when we're kind of doing all these beautiful movements with our spine, we really are thinking about increasing the fluid in the vertebra, which we lose over time as we age, as well as when we sleep. So all these movements with our spine are so beautiful and so important to keep that integrity of the spine. So we're just going to start to move the body around. I remember the first time I did cat-cow, probably 18 years ago, and I was looking around, you know, insecure. What the heck do I look like? I was so concerned with my outer form, my outer shell. And, you know, now in my practice, I just kind of get lost in the practice, and I really don't think about that so much. So let's try to reverse our direction. Kind of notice how your elbows just kind of pedaling out here. There's no wrong way. There's no parts or pieces in yoga. It's all interconnected, and I want you to feel that fluidity with your breath and your body, and it's your body, so honor those individual needs. There's no teaching a specific asana in my teachings that you have to come into if it does not feel good for you. So honor that. It's really important. Once you honor that, that's where your empowerment comes from. That's where you start to say, you know what, I'm in the moment, I'm present. So let's tuck the toes here. Let's take an inhale. We'll exhale round. We'll lift our hips, find our down dog. Deep breath. We'll join our big toes together. We'll bend our knees. Gaze comes forward and we'll exhale. Top of our mat. Take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Arms sweep overhead. Take a deep breath. Exhale, Lotus Mudra. Inhale, arms extend. Good. Bow to a better version of yourself. Big fold. Inhale, halfway. If you like your jump backs, plant your hands. You can step, or bring your hands alongside your pinky toes. Bend your knees. And then when you jump back, stay soft. So elbows wrapped in. They're like springboards. And then float back. Inhale. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Take your right leg towards the sky. So we're going to open up our hip this time. I feel really good. Nice deep breath. You can even kind of dip the shoulders. I know sometimes keeping them square is really nice, but maybe peek underneath that right armpit. If you want to drop your left elbow down, that's really challenging. If you want to tent onto your right fingertips, that's super challenging. Just take it to the level that feels good. Good. Make sure the shoulder feels safe and you're kind of, again, defying the gravity. And then release that variation. If you came in, right knee to right tricep. Drop your right foot outside of your right hand. Drop your left knee down. And then we're going to start to come into our lizard here. So lizard pose is really important for the outer hip space. We also want to think about the adductors here. And also the psoas on the left side. So there's a lot of things working. And it's really nice to use, take your block. If you have a block, if you have a pillow, you can drop down on your block. I really, really dig this posture. I love it. It feels so good. So I walk my foot nice and wide. I like to come to my elbows. Some people even tuck their toes. But we're going to take a few rounds of breath, okay? So wherever you are in this posture, just allow it to be what it is. Take a few rounds. And then, good. So everyone's going to tuck their back toes. We're going to walk onto our hands. And then I want you to start to walk your hands. So we're coming into kind of a down dog lunge. So I want you to drop your left heel. So your left foot is parallel to the short edge of the mat in the back. And then I want you to really shift your hips back. You might even kind of roll onto the right pinky toe if you really need to lubricate that space. But keep your left foot rooted down and anchored. And then see if you can scissor your inner thighs together. Another full breath. Deep breath. And then slowly start to walk your hands back so they're facing the top of the mat. You can pop up that left heel and then step your left foot to join, to come to the outer edge of your left hand, coming into your squat pose. So I'm going to face you guys for squat. I did this posture last week, and it's just a nice place, again, to come to ground and really kind of work towards, as I mentioned, garland pose is really known for adorning flowers around the body in this posture, and it becomes a bind. And I'm going to demonstrate that later, but the idea here is honoring your outer form, whatever that form is, so that we can really tap into our inner beauty, okay? That outer form, so that grounding, that experience that we came into in our life, that entrance into the world, whatever shape that took on, and then really tapping into our inner beauty as life goes on, right? And that's where we start to open up that spiritual energy through the heart, through the throat, through the third eye, and then the crown, that true bliss. Another full breath here. Good. And then from here, we're going to release the hands down. We're going to lift our hips, turn your toes. So you're in a wide-legged forward bend. Take a nice full breath. Walk your feet together, top of your mat. I'll shift back over here. Take a deep breath. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. And then arms sweep overhead. Exhale your hands to your heart. Good. Lotus Mudra. Inhale. I have a deep lake of loving kindness. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, if you're practicing those jump backs, prepare. Exhale, plant. Bend and float back. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Savasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Savasana. Lift your left leg. Take your left knee, bend it. Take your left knee, tap your left tricep. Step to the outside of that left foot. Okay, we're going to prepare for lizard on this side, so drop your back knee if that's where you are. See if you can mirror what you did on the other side. Maybe elbows come down, maybe you pop up that back knee. Really rinsing that space, that outer hip, really digging in if it feels good. Any variation, play with it here. I'm going to have to shift a little bit so I have some space. Take a full breath. And then slowly start to walk back onto the hands. We're going to come into that down dog lunge. So you're going to drop your back foot. You can start to stretch your arms out in front of you. I'm sliding away here, so I'm going to work on that. And then just kind of shift back. Scissor the inner thighs. Deep breath here. Soften your grip. A few more deep breaths. Good. And then slowly start to walk the hands back towards the top of your mat. Walk that left foot in. Turn your left toes out. Pop up your right heel. And then find your Malasana. Deep breath here. And just start to, again, sway your hips. Just kind of settle in. Thumbs at the sternum. Let's come back to our Lotus Mudra. So we're going to use the strength of the core here if we can, all right? And we're going to bring our feet to stillness. Turn the toes out. We're going to inhale, extend. And we're going to exhale, sink. Inhale, extend. Exhale, sink. Inhale, extend. Exhale, sink. Good. Uplifting. One more breath here. Exhale, release. Let's take one more breath this time. Staying nice and tall. Turning the feet so they're parallel. Toe heeling them together. Maybe take a little back bend and then exhale your hands to your heart. Good. At the top of our mat, start to find a nice, comfortable drishti. A focus point. It can be the tip of your nose. Something that's not going to distract you. And then we're going to shift our weight into our right leg, working on our tree pose. So as we inhale, let's take that left knee into our chest. Let's dial that left knee back towards the wall behind us. You want to make sure when you come into tree that you keep your foot placement off the knee joint. So make sure if it's just about at the knee, maybe you move it below, or maybe you take your hand and kind of help the foot above the knee. Take your hands into Lotus Mudra and just find that drishti. Take a few rounds of breath. Soften your grip a little bit. Use the mound of the right big toe to ground you. Good. And take that uplifting energy and expand and grow those branches. And then open up. So I was listening to The Giving Tree with my kids in the car the other day. It's such a great book, but we were listening through the CD player just to kind of change it up on a drive. And Giving Tree is such a wonderful message, especially for right now, right? The tree kind of gives away all of its branches, all of these parts of itself for material items for the boy. And at the end, the boy, talking too much, the boy just wants a place to sit, right? So we all have that now. So come back to that loving, grounding energy. Take another full breath. Take your hands back into Lotus Mudra, back to your heart. Dial the left knee forward. Release your left foot down. Take a waterfall here. So right, our tree stumps, our waterfalls. The other day I did a workout and did some cross training, jumping up on a tree stump. It's perfect. Didn't need a gym, right? Just need nature. Let's come back to center. Let's shift our awareness to our left leg. Let's take that right knee into our chest and see if you can mirror what you did on the other side. Take the hands into your Lotus Mudra. Find that breath nice and deep. And just allow it to cascade around the body, just feeling that kind of safe magnetic energy surrounding you. And then maybe growing your branches. Maybe opening up. Beautiful. Nice deep breath. And then take those hands back to our heart. Exhale. Dial that right knee forward, release the foot down, hands to your hips. Maybe release for waterfalls. Again, joints are nice and soft here. Everything's buoyant, everything's okay. There's no beginning or end, right? It's kind of a continuation of our breath, of our body, of our life, our death. And then we'll come back to the top of our mat. Take a nice deep breath. Grounding breath, feeling centered, feeling balanced here. Then take your hands back to that Lotus Mudra. Inhale. And then exhale, fold. Deep breath. Inhale. Exhale, plant the hands. We're going to bend the knees. Again, move through your vinyasa if you'd like, or step, step plank, chaturanga. Inhale. Exhale. Deep breath, right leg sweeps, open up. Right knee to right tricep. Hold. Step your right foot softly to the outside, left foot to the outside here. Find your malasana, and then step your right foot back and your left. Deep breath. Shift the hips back. Inhale, big breath. Inhale, left leg sweeps, bend the knee. Left knee to left tricep. Hold. Step your left foot lightly, right foot, malasana. Step your left foot back, right to join. Deep breath. Inhale. Big breath. Roll onto the balls of the feet. Exhale, wave your body forward. We're going to lower onto our belly, so you can drop your knees here if you'd like to modify. Inhale here. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take that third eye, connect it. Walk your legs together so you're really zipping up through the midline of the body. And you want to kind of think of that inseam of the body, zipping up through that space. And then from here, I want you to walk your hands so that they're underneath, just past the shoulders. So they're going to be alongside the rib cage for now. I want you to root down through the tops of the toenails and then lift your kneecaps, firm your thighs, and then draw your pubic bone down and draw your navel back. Inhale, start to lift. Again, energetically awakening and opening 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th chakra, reaching towards the heavens. And then exhale, burrow that third eye into the earth. This time, walk the hands a little bit further back. Inhale. See if you can kind of slide your body forward into your up dog. And then exhale, shift the hips back. Deep breath. Roll onto the balls of the feet. Exhale, wave your body forward. Inhale, drop those knees if you need to. Exhale, lower for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This time, burrow that third eye into the earth. Untuck the toes. Wrap the hands behind the low back. Same cues here. Zip up through that inseam. Inhale, start to lift the legs. Squeeze them together. Heart rises. Head, neck lifts. Squeeze the shoulder blades together if it feels good. If not, your hands are still in your baby cobra. That's okay. 3 breaths for 2. For 1. Slowly release. Take your hands, release them right alongside the breastbone space. Inhale, start to lift Bhujangasana. Slide your body forward, lift Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, shift your hips back. Deep breath. Exhale. Good. Draw the big toes together, bend your knees, bring your gaze forward. Exhale, find your squat, Hindu squat here. So I want you to sink back. So we're going to move towards that garland pose with a bind variation, if that's something that you'd like to work on today. You might want to have your block available. I like to kind of come into releve with the feet to really challenge myself and really to get a good stretch here. But if that's too much for you, you can place something under the heels. You can also have blocks under the hands or something to hold on to. But let's take our hands to our heart and then open up. Just let that lotus flower blossom take a full breath. So from here, we're going to see if we can open our knees and press our heels together, staying nice and long and tall through the spine. Good. So we coming into our garland pose. Now visualize here, just adorning yourself with these magical, beautiful flowers, right? Wrapping yourself and honoring that outer beauty that we have, but really, that outer form, I should say, that shell, but really the good stuff's in the inner beauty, right? So as you start to bow, start to lower, start to lower, start to lower. And then if it's comfortable, take your arms, wrap them underneath the knees, You can interlace your hands behind the heels. You can bow. Good. And just find that inner beauty. Breathe here. 3, 2, and 1. Release your bind. Take your hands back into your Lotus Mudra. Tough transition. Draw your knees together. Rise. Feel that uplifting energy. Share it with the world. Wrap your arms around the entire world. Take 3 more breaths. For 2 and 1. Take your hands back to Lotus Mudra at heart center. Release the hands down. Lift your hips. Walk your feet a little wider. Good. So you guys are at the top of your mat. Shift your feet front to back. Deep breath. And then our Padahastasana. So we're going to take hold of our big toes with our peace fingers. You're going to take those peace fingers on the inside of the big toes and then start to take a lengthening breath. So rather than arching the spine here, see if you can lengthen the spine without compromising that space and strength through the core. And then as you exhale, fold. Knees can be really soft. Inhale. So it may look like my knees are locked out. They're not. I'm pretty flexible through the hamstrings, and it feels really good for me to feel that space. Now, if you're someone that's really flexible, you can certainly take your hands and walk them underneath the feet, and that might give you a little bit more of a stretch, okay? But just find, so we throw our hastas under our padas, okay? So Sanskrit, foot, hand, inhale, Padahastasana, gorilla pose. Take 1 more deep breath, inhale. Good, and then exhale. And then just walk off the hands. Now flip your hands, if it's comfortable, the opposite way, and see if you can step right on the top of the hands. Deep breath, inhale. Obviously the elbows won't bend here, unless maybe you're double jointed. You might be able to do that. Inhale. And exhale. Let's do 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Good. And then just walk off the hands.